Good morning. It's just about 8 o'clock and things are already moving very well on the farm. If you guys take a look at my map here, you'll see on field 13 we got Albert over there running the combine. He's already helping out the neighbor. He's working for me. He's running their combine and he's getting some soybeans off. But you know, he's not the only one who wants to get soybeans off, because if you look over here, there's Albert, right? He's doing all of the neighbor's soybeans. We're going to jump on, oh, come on, over here. There we are. Wow, that took a minute. Anyway, I got my two combines all set up. They're all fueled up, and they are ready to go on our field. And the field I'm talking about, of course, is number 10, right in behind our house. So I'm going to go bring these combines over, and we're going to get started on my field of soybeans as well, and it should make for some rather enjoyable gameplay, I would assume. With our combines now set in motion, I'm going to leave them to do their thing, and what I want to do, I want to go to our grain bin, and I need to see if I can find an empty one, because we're going to be storing all of our soybeans in there. And I'm not sure if we're going to be using a tandem or if we're going to have to come up with a different solution, but that's for us to figure out in just a minute. That's barley. That is also barley. We remember that from the last episode. That would be corn, sunflower, and corn. So we are at a bit of an impasse, aren't we? Okay. We're going to have to make a decision on some bin space here in just a moment. But in the meantime, I need to go check on the other combine that Albert's driving, because I think he said he was full. So if you'll just give me one moment, I'll see if I can hop on over to him. I believe he is at the far end of the field, yes. And he's been waiting there for a few minutes, so thankfully, I didn't have to run all that way. Otherwise, that would be quite the jog. This insta-warp that we got going on here is just wonderful. But we'll take care of Albert here right quick. It's too bad I can't find someone that knows how to drive truck. Otherwise, I would be able to send them to work and we wouldn't have to deal with this. But here we are, and it's no point in complaining. We'll just get to it and finish it as quick as we can. It's going to be a little bit chaotic working two fields, but it's nothing we haven't done before. So I am sure it will work out all right. They're using the Fendt on the neighbor's field here. That's an AT, if I'm not wrong. Beautiful big combine, but it is not the kind that we run, not the generation that we need to run at our farm. But anyway, I just want to take a look and see how our combines are doing now. And you can see there's one green strip that just for some reason never quite got ripe in time. I don't know what happened with the field, but I imagine that little strip is probably all just going to get disked over, because it really doesn't do us any good just combining that little piece. But we need to find some solutions for our grain, and that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at next. Now, you guys will remember we used to have the old 7500 semi-truck, and we turned that into a flatbed. I have a feeling I'm going to change that flatbed to more of a service body with a fuel tanker, because I think that would help us more in the long run, but that's kind of still to be determined. The reason we were keeping the 7500 was because it had the back hitch, which this semi does not. So it makes that truck very, very useful for towing implements home. But as for this truck right here, what we're looking for is simply the fifth wheel design. We can have a short frame. There's no problem there. Engine is fine. I don't want anything fancy for my wheels. I don't think we don't need anything super fancy. Just something robust and that not like this. You know, something that looks normal. So I'm thinking, you know, just the standard's gonna do. As far as the air horns, sure, that's all good. We don't want underglow, that's ridiculous. Stacks with caps on them, fine. I'm okay with that. Let's just take a look. We got some quarter fenders. We got full. The ribbed ones kind of do look cool, but they also kind of look like culverts, for being honest. So maybe we go with these. I think that's fine. Bumpers, I think we all know what we're going for here. It's going to be same as the other truck, pretty much. So we'll go just like that. That's perfect. I don't like the drop visor. I like the one that sticks out. No patina. This gives me a headache rack, toolbox rack, or you know what? Toolbox is fine. Don't need special editions. All the chicken lights. Again, with colors, we're more or less just going for sort of a whitish, kind of an off-white. Seats inside are fine. Rims, obviously we need to fix that. Aluminum works. License plate is fine. I think that's our semi-truck. That should do. So we'll quickly buy that. And these are cheap trucks. But the reason why we're getting the truck in the first place is because of a big change we're going to be doing here. We're going to go to hopper bottoms now. So something like this. And the reason for it is simply storage for one, and tippers, they tend to be a little bit tedious. Oh, there's the triple hopper. I hate that thing. We do have B trains we can use as well. And then we have multiple special use, this and that and the other thing. For today, I think I'm going to get this tipper, just because I know we're running short on space. I'm going to rent this thing, and we're going to rent it with the Unreal capacity, because again, we're running short on space, and I need to sort something out. So that's what it's going to be. We'll lease that. Thank you. Very good. And there you go. My combine is already waiting. And once we... Here you go. I got a truck right nearby. I may as well just use that. Once we have our bin situation sorted out, then we'll straighten out the rest of our auger situation and all of the rest of that jazz. Just kind of doing things on the fly right now, trying to make do with what we have, and try not to overspend too terribly just off the hop here. So there's the new truck, and I can tell already I'm going to want to stretch that frame. It's quite short. When I turn with this trailer, it kind of wants to touch my headache rack there, so that will be something I'll be changing very, very soon. Right now I'm just trying to get back to my dump truck, and I do have a fair bit of rocks on this field I'm going to have to clean up this year. Once I'm done cultivating, I'll do that. I can grab the dump truck. We're going to service that combine as well, and once we're done that combine, we'll probably have to go back to Albert's, because he's probably going to be pretty full by that point. And then we'll keep doing this. We'll keep rotating through, and we'll see what we can do. We'll get this done one way or another. A farmer always does. It was just as I thought. Albert is all but full there. I can see it already. He's got his auger sticking out. So yeah, we're gonna go quickly unload him, and we'll see where this is actually going once we get under that spout, because we gotta deliver this. Our grain we don't really need to deliver right away, but it seems like the neighbors always like to deliver theirs to the elevator right away. So let's take us a look and see where we're going with this. It looks like BF Grains gate number 2. That is not a problem. That can be arranged. Alright. Well, off to BF gate number 2, and we will see you guys there. Just pulling into the elevator yard here now. There you see the sign, BF Grains, lane 1 and lane 2. This is number 2. I don't use this elevator a lot, so I tend to forget which one is 1 and which one is 2, but this is number 2. We'll have this dumped out in a hurry, and it's right back to the field. I believe some of my combines are about full. Well, yeah, that's a hefty load of beans right there. Beautiful. Almost 40% of the field has been delivered. Perfect. Alrighty. Well, back to the field, and let's see what else we can get ourselves into. We've got our little tandem full here. I say little. This is a nice big load, 27,500. And it looks like Albert is actually full too. But I wanted to quickly dump out this truckload because this is going to get dumped straight into the pig pen as much as I can. And once again, we're having issues with that box kind of shaking and making all kinds of racket. But yes, this is supposed to go to the pigs so that they have their winter feed all done. I don't want to have to deal with that again till next year. So let's open up that gate. We'll jump in the truck and let's bring them all the beans their heart could ever desire. Because as soon as they're fat enough, we're going to eat their hearts. I mean, what? We just want to eat their bellies because that's where the bacon comes from. There we go. Let them have at it. I wish there would be a proper bin or mixing system for this, but there isn't, so you get this very crude and not at all accurate animation. And I guess we have to call that good enough. Yeah, to the surprise of no one, Albert's combine was full again. But he's got, you know, almost half the field done, which is good. Maybe once he's all done this field, we'll put him on our field. We'll see if we're allowed to even do that. I forget if the game allows me to do something like that. I have a feeling that's probably going to be a no. I think you can only do other customer fields, but hey, wouldn't hurt to try. Anyway, let's jump over real quick and wow, what timing that was. Let me just back this guy on up. You see how close that was? The timing was impeccable. Unreal. Alright. You go back to that end. I was really hoping that other combine would somehow find a way to go to the back of that green section there and start cleaning that section up, but hey, if he didn't want to, then so be it. Maybe this one will be able to do it. Would be kind of nice. Just want to kind of stick around and see what happens. I'm hopeful that it's going to go past, since there's about 2 rows of beans that are actually ripe, so I'm hopefully it'll go over the green this time around. Yes, so far so good. Beautiful. Perfect. There, that gives me hope. Alright, let's go find our... There it is. We'll fire this thing up. We may as well dump this. I don't like driving on my lawn, but it is what it is. We're going to dump this right into the truck while we're at it, since we're nice and close. If we can indeed reach over it. We do have a bit of an old combine, so sometimes that starts to become an issue. But it looks like for now it's working decently well. But yeah, this should probably be a nice soybean harvest, I would imagine. We finally managed to get our grain cart out. It's been hectic. It really has. So I'm not surprised that some of our combines are stopping right now. It's okay, they won't be stopping for very long, that's for sure. Looks like that's the first one I gotta tackle is over there. The one doing the short rows, and then right after that I'll probably need to do the one that's off to our right hand side, because that one's going to be full in just a moment's notice too. And then we'll go back over to Albert's and see if he needs to be emptied. I have a feeling he probably does too. Here we go. I don't know if I've ever unloaded from this side, but no, that works alright. There's lots of room there. Perfect. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think Albert's going to need to be unloaded as well. There you go. There came the notification already. Well, let's switch over real quick and go see Albert. Oh, there's his truck. Let's do this. Swing her around and go and get him unloaded. What else is new on a soybean farm? Alright, well, this cycle is going to repeat itself many more times, and I think you guys kind of get the gist of what we're doing. If anything else exciting or different shows up, or anything noteworthy, then I'll let you guys know. But otherwise, I'm just going to play the game here and not narrate my every move, and we'll go from there. We're going to take a look at the store just to see what we got going on. Ooh, I'm guessing this is for tractors, isn't it? And that one probably also. Yep, that's 3-point. Anyway, it's kind of not what I was doing here. I was just curious for the sake of curiosity. But anyway, right now we have a long frame, flat deck, and it does not look like these. Where on earth are these flat decks? I seem to be missing them. Anyway, it's besides the point. We can get the pickup box for it if we have the short frame, which we don't want. What I was thinking is this one. It would give it kind of a service body. This one says dummy capacity. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing it's probably because you can fit an unreal amount of fuel in it. All the lights, it's like it's going to ask for just rear beacons, beacons on supports, or all the lights. Of course you want all the lights. And then you have, what do you want for your decoration? Like, do we want some yard works? This looks like a jack, some pylons, bit of oil and whatnot, generator, battery booster, air hoses, or nothing. If I was going to choose anything, it would have to be this. I think this makes the most sense for what we're using it for. I don't think it looks terrible. There we can put a rack to it. I don't think we can haul anything on the rack. There's a decorative ladder you can use, but for our purpose I don't think that's really necessary. Where is this off-white? We always go with this color for our trucks. And our design. Ooh, look at that nice diamond plate. Isn't that gorgeous? I think so. I think that's beautiful. That's exactly what we want. Perfect. Alright. Now, I need to go take care of Albert over here, and then we'll see you guys at the store. It's been a fair minute. I've been very busy unloading combines, but I'm back now, and I can already see I need a short wheelbase for that little service body. But that doesn't matter. We're going to detach it anyway, and I just want to see what that's going to look like. Because yeah, I have a strange feeling that that is not going to fit very well. Something tells me. Yeah, you can see where those wheels would not line up. You see that? So that means we gotta go to the shop and we gotta shorten the wheelbase on us. Oh, just ran over the farmer's header wagon. not to worry. Alright. We'll do that real quick. Here we go, customize. And again, these rims are quite fine. Here we go, 2,800 bucks, and we've cut our frame off. Beautiful. Let's get right back into it. Costs a lot of money. Maybe they used a lot of acetylene on their torch when they were cutting that. I at least can't figure out any other reason why it would cost so much. But that's okay. Yeah, a little bit of welding. You know how it is. There we go. That looks much better. I'm going to turn off the truck for just a sec so we can take a moment to appreciate this. So yes. We got nice corner markers everywhere. We got the strobes in the back. Actually, I should go in there and turn them on, just so we could see what they actually look like. Beautiful. That is actually very, very sharp. That will do just nicely. And I don't think that's too much junk on the box. You can see a little bit as you kind of peer over that tailgate, but it doesn't look overwhelmingly messy. And it looks like all stuff I would bring to the field, you know, a little bit of 4-inch hose, a couple boxes, perhaps parts. Looks like a rubber mallet, bit of oil, toolbox, air hose, generator. Yep, I think so. I think that'll work out very, very nicely. Alright, this truck goes back to the yard, and let's continue with the combines. Well, I guess the good news is that section where the green stripe was in, that is all done now. So I can move my combine over to this side now and finish that off. Shouldn't take too much longer yet. And now, would you look at that? That is it for that field. Wow. So field 13 is all done. All that's left to do really is go and ship this soybeans off to BF Grains gate number 2, which thankfully is right in behind those bins. And of course, if there's any leftovers, I'll gladly put it in the elevator over to my left, because that is kind of my new personal storage space. And we'll see how much room we actually have there, because we still got a ton of potatoes, which is fantastic. I like having that extra room because I don't really have the bunker or anything for potatoes yet. One day. But for now, I'm trying to see if I can do this as gently as possible. Oh, we gotta go a little more. So minimal amount of money wasted. There we are. Only sold 4,700. Perfect. Now if we could close that gate, we still have almost 10,000 liters of soybeans here that we should put in our elevator here. Funny how they don't charge me rent for using this elevator. You would think. But don't tell the game developers that either, otherwise they might start adding that. But normally if you bring to an elevator, you're selling to them, and if you're storing there, well, then you should be paying a storage fee. But these guys don't seem to mind, and neither do I. But just in case this does work, although I have my doubts, I want to see if I can get this to go on my field, just because I'm very curious what that would do. And I don't know why I suddenly have an accent. It's like I had this Irish YouTuber in the back of my head, and for some reason now I keep talking like him. I gotta stop doing that. That's gonna confuse all you guys. By the way, would you guys like to see me do accents and voiceover work? voiceover work is something that I've actually wanted to attempt, and I do think I have a bit of a range when it comes to accents and stuff. I don't know if I have the right inflection or the right character or charisma for a lot of the different characters that I might have to portray in a voiceover, but I think if I was, if I didn't have other people in the home and I was more free to express myself, I think it would be a little bit different too. But that's just, that's just me speaking out loud. Ah, so this does not work. Alright, well, we're not going to waste any more of your time then. Please see yourself off. Leave and be gone. There we go again with that crazy Irish accent that keeps popping up. That combine's full. Well, looks like I got things to do. One thing I think is very obvious, and that is that the 14 series combine, this is probably going to be its last season with us. I think, we have the 16 here, and there's the 2100 series. I believe that's what's the next level up. That'll be the next one. And I can't wait to get started on that. You can see our fields have gotten much, much bigger than the tiny little squares that we were originally cutting. So with field number 10 as well as field number 4, they're so much bigger that eventually we have to upgrade or at least get bigger. And so that's why I'm thinking, even tractor wise, like I would love nothing more than to jump by 20 horsepower at a time. But I have this funny feeling that we're gonna have to jump 40 or 60 horsepower next time, because otherwise you guys are gonna get another 4 seasons, not just episodes. You're gonna get many seasons worth of me trying to upgrade, and yeah, that's a lot of seasons that are all the same thing. And yes, I am excited for each and every tractor that I have on my list, but I may have to, just make bigger increments so that we're not stuck forever, because otherwise the show never goes on. And we've been on this map for a fair while now. I do enjoy this map, absolutely. I have no issues with the map itself. Everything's been working really well. I haven't had any glitches or anything major like that, so I think that part's all good. But we have to be real that people are going to get tired eventually of the same map, and so I think in the coming episodes you guys will start to see bigger equipment come in. Again, we're going to try to stay with the theme of, keeping our equipment under that year 2000. Like, we want to have those 1970s, 1980s, 1990s even. Our combines are probably from the 90s, and some of our tractors are 80s and 70s. So I still want to keep that theme. I still want to have the Farmall International and Case theme. All that stays the same, just maybe we'll try to pick up the pace a little bit so that we're not faced with another 5 seasons, and maybe we just do another season after this, or maybe 2 seasons, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna have to do something. And now would you look at that, that is the last of the field. So all that's left to do now is to dump out this remaining soybeans, and then we'll take a tally of how much we've collected in total, and then we can shut the show down. Obviously, like I told you guys before, this trailer has an unreal capacity, so it is a fair bit in there. I haven't checked myself yet, but I wouldn't mind hearing the guesses in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. How much is in there actually? because I know there is a fair bit, but I really don't have a clue myself what I would put that number at. And let's see who's closest. You can see I got the rest of the machinery kind of parked off to the side for now. I'll probably end up bringing her all back to the shop a little bit later on. Just won't happen right now. I figure this is quite far enough for the day. The episode's probably wonderfully long, or at least wonderfully long enough. So, now that you guys have your guesses in, we can actually jump in the truck and we can see what the final tally is. 168,000. And we have to remember that we have to add another 29,000 because that's how much we put in the pig pens from the tandem that we dumped. So that would go to just about 200,000 liters worth of soybeans off of this field. So you can see why I'm starting to debate getting a little bit bigger machinery. But I believe we will save that for another episode. For now, I will wish you guys all a really great rest of your day, and hopefully we can see you guys very shortly. Take care.